Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir SilentGods video. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about the Tempest domain that we have right now in Season 2, okay? So, why I'm saying specifically Season 2 is because compared to Season 1, the Tempest domains, and well, most dungeons actually have changed a little bit and might require you to have some different tactics, to bring in some different specific heroes. However, they're still not going to be as crazy hard to do. It's just that the difficulty has gone a little bit up, especially for the Tempest domain and again for the Flame domain. Like, we are all aware that the Flame domain was the hardest of the domains to always deal with because of those burns, because of having not too many cleansers and whatnot. So I might have a look. Maybe if you guys want me to make a video on this one as well, do let me know in the comments down below and I can do it. But the one that I want to tackle today is going to be the Tempest domain on stage 5. So what I'm going to show is the team that I'm using, okay? I'm not telling you use these heroes and that's it. If you don't have these, you're lost. No. So please be aware. I'm showing you my team, which is going to be legendaries, legendary artifact, but I'm going to explain to you again, kind of like in every single one of the other videos, the principle of what you're going to need in order to tackle this boss. So if we have a look at his skills, it's going to be the first one, lightning domain, which is going to be the hit that he's going to do, and that's going to be full board damage to all enemies and inflicts 1 stack of electrocuted, also gaining 1 stack of recovery over time. Electrocuted is the new debuff that was implemented in Season 2, invokes a lightning chain at the carrier's position every 4 seconds, dealing derivative damage to the carrier and up to 4 additional targets. So basically this one's gonna do some more AoE damage. So in order for us to deal with this one, we have 2 options. 1, bring a cleanser so that you can cleanse this one, or try to cleanse it once he does it the second time, because the boss is gonna do this 2 times. Or 2, you have the option of bringing somebody that brings you a block debuff, okay? That's gonna be stuff that's gonna make it a lot easier. In the team that I'm gonna show you, I'm not bringing anything because, well, anything like that because I'm using Garius. I could drop, I guess, Garius and bring somebody like a, what's her name, Mistreja, but the problem is like this, I wish I had more people built for this, but I cannot. That's the tricky thing. Without having a test server, I cannot do easy content for you guys to show you like, oh yeah, use these reds, use these epics without breaking my account and breaking my progress. Unfortunately, that's what we really need a test server for, and unfortunately, we do not have an access for. So right now, the only ones that I have that are available for this one are going to be my Ice Blast people, my Garius, again, my Drizzt and Oster, which are going to be the AoE hitters, my Mistreja, she's an OP legendary, so if I bring her again, it's not going to be as relatable. That's why whenever I make these types of videos, again, I'm trying to emphasize on what is required and not necessarily the heroes, okay? Now, let's move over back to the skills. So basically, the boss does this one 2 times, and then when he casts the ultimate, kind of like the same thing as previously, he just jumps up into the air, and then he spawns some young, how are they called again? Young dragons. And basically you're gonna have to kill them before the timer goes out. Otherwise, for everyone that stays alive, he's gonna get recovery over time. So you see that the same thing on the ultimate and on the battle skill, he gains recovery over time. So how do you deal with this one? Well, you have 2 options. Option number 1, bring heal reduction. Okay, that might be one of the easiest, but at the same time might be one of the hardest depending on what affinity you use. For example, if I have a look at Radiance, there's not too many to bring. I think it's only Nessa that I can think, and she brings it on the ultimate. That's not going to be reliable enough, so not too good. Then when it comes to Frost, again, there's just some RNG ones with Pargu. You cannot guarantee it, so it's going to be a bit difficult. But the second option that you have in order to deal with this one is to try and block it or remove it. And that's where somebody like Avoresh comes in, okay? So let's do a quick run and show you how this one works for me. Again, do not get stuck on the legendaries that I'm using. Like Drizzt and Oster, okay? These 2, they can be any other DPS that you have, okay? They are not mandatory. I'm just using them because that's what I have built. So Dritz and Oster can be any other Frost DPS that you want to use. It can be Usha, it can be Rava, it can be Rowena, anybody. I have a feeling, honestly, that I could even use my Ice Blast people in here. That does not matter. Then when it comes to Gyarius, because I don't have another healer, Gyarius is basically my tank and healer, plus because I have the artifact on him, he gives me those shields that makes me be reliable enough. Then Rose, again, Rose is because she's the one that I have built. She's basically in the team to provide me with attack penalty. But as an example, you could even replace Rose with somebody like a, maybe if you have a V-Cook build, okay? Even though he would be wrong affinity in here, because he's a support and you don't care about his damage, as long as he survives, you should be just fine, okay? If he survives, he will bring you the attack penalty on the battle skill, and then he will bring you the cleansing on the ultimate. So you see what happened? I landed the block debuffs with Voresh. The boss could not heal. And I just had to deal with the Dragonlings. Obviously, I have some legendary gear on my people, legendary artifacts, so this was running pretty fast. But this is the important thing. You see me landing the block debuffs just before the boss does those healings. So those are going to be some really crucial things that you want to keep in mind. Let me see. So what other options? Let's have a look at what other options we have, for example. So if we go over into the gallery, we're going to have a look at who's going to be good for this one and who's not. I'm not going to look again. I'm not going to look at the DPS. They can be anyone. DPS heroes can be anybody. But if we have a look at buff prohibition, let's see, buff block. Okay, they changed the name. So you have Voresh, which hopefully most of you have. If not, we have Liko. Okay, Liko can be a good option. She does it on the ultimate. Okay, same thing. She can also dispel a buff, but she needs to have a buff on herself. And the reason why she could be decent is because, well, almost everybody should have her, okay? Because you got her last season by doing 60 stages in total from the what's it called, from the faction trials. However, if you have Voresh, I advise you not to invest in her, okay? Voresh is so much better. They kind of missed the mark a little bit with her. I wish this one was not conditional. If this was not conditional, Liko would have been a better option. But again, if you don't have Voresh, you're going to have to bring Liko for the block buffs. Then I think Firav does it on the battle skill. So this one might help as well because being on the battle skill, he might do it more often. Then this one, he can dispel 2 buffs as well. So if you have a Firar build and scrolled, he could be another good option for the buff prohibition. Then we have Livia, but I'm not sure I would really recommend Livia. She doesn't bring anything else for the fights. Another amazing option would be Repakas, okay? But again, he's not guaranteed to land that buff prohibition. However, he brings you the ultimate recharge time. So if you have him as the tank, he's going to be awesome because he can land, you know, 3 of the 5. So he has a chance to bring you healing prohibition, recharge speed penalty, attack penalty. So Repakas would be an amazing one for this fight. Then Garika obviously can be really good because she does it on the ultimate. If you have her, Tamar as well. But the tricky thing with Tamar is she only lands it. Wait, actually, is it? No, so just the stun is conditional. I thought that the buff prohibition was conditional. But again, Tamar can be a good option. So anybody that does that. Then when it comes to the, what's it called, heal prohibition, the heal reduction, there's not too many that can do it. Again, as you can see, slim pickings, and you're obviously going to want to not bring somebody that's lightning or poison if you can, because they're going to be wrong affinity. They might take too much damage. They might not do enough damage, so it would not be ideal. So that's where Ekis gets out of the situation. Nessa would be an option. Thea could be a good one, okay, because Thea does it on the ultimate. She has a pretty low recharge time. Also brings debuff immunity. So, for example, Thea would be an MVP for this season for the Tempest domain. Again, brings healing prohibition, brings debuff immunity. The 2 important things that we would need so we can deal with the boss healing and with the electrocuted, so we do not get it on ourselves. Again, Sigrid, I wish I could call her, but she is part of the pairing where she's going to take more damage and do less damage, so she's not ideal. Then again, Dane could be useful because he removes 2 buffs on this one, and then I think he has a chance. I mean, I really don't like Dane, but still, let me have a look. Does he actually bring this or not? So when dealing damage to enemies with 50% HP or less, he brings fear and heal prohibition. Again, another spot where Dane is not good. He would remove the buffs with ultimate, but he cannot bring buff prohibition. So Dane is out of question. Then the last one, obviously, there's the legendary Stegamuffin. Donella could bring you some of that attack penalty on the ultimate, and then on the battle. Wait. where was it? Healing prohibition on the battle skill. So the magic puppet flies to a random enemy every 8 seconds, dealing damage with 100% chance of dealing healing prohibition. So she could bring you the heal prohibition attack penalty. UTR again, he does not bring, I think he has it on the battle skill. He could be useful, but I'm not sure too many people built him because he's underwhelming. Quesitia, Guland, again, there's obviously legendary options. Now let me talk about the last thing that we might need in here. I'm not going to talk about cleanser, but I'm going to talk about debuff immunity. Let me see, where is it again? There we go, debuff block. So, like I said, first option, Thea. Thea's amazing. She brings healing reversal, healing prohibition again on the ultimate, plus debuff immunity. But again, keep in mind, she only does it to ranged allies. So you have to be careful about that. Then Catherine is another amazing option. She brings you debuff immunity plus good heal. Then she also brings more heal and defense up on the battle skill. Plus she has a pretty fun passive. So Catherine's really amazing. Then again, we have somebody like a Garion that does some healing over here. He brings debuff immunity, but only on a single target, so he might not be the best one in here. Plus, he's poison, so he's wrong affinity. Then another one, which I called him like, you know, sleeper OP last season because he's amazing, would be somebody like a Gladros. Okay, Gladros has this amazing skill. He places a shield, but then any ally that's under shield, placed by him, he has he gives debuff immunity as well. And when those ones get removed, those ones can get removed by the controls, and then you basically get immune to that control. So he might have some other uses later on. So definitely Gladros can be an MVP for this one, and maybe for other eras of the game. And obviously Faesa, Maitreya, Thorin can be good. Acelia really amazing, because again, Acelia does the cleansing as well, debuff immunity. So there's plenty of options, but again, you have to keep in mind what you need for this fight. You need to have a cleanse or a debuff immunity, or you need to have enough heal so that you don't have a problem by getting hit by that electrocuted. You want to bring some attack penalty if you can to make the boss do less damage. And then apart from that, is mostly going to be AoE damage and blocking the boss from healing. So either healing reduction or block buffs. So you stop that recovery over time going on in the first place. But yeah, I think this is going to be it for today, guys. I hope this was a helpful video. I hope this made you understand how you can tackle this stage. Again, don't get stuck, please. Like, I get at least one comment, if not several, every time I do a video like this, where people are like, oh, of course it's easy because you have these heroes. That's what I have built. I'm sorry. But every time when I'm saying this, I'm explaining what key components you need and what makes it easy. If I had a test server, I could build just more rares and epics to show you this. But anyway, this is gonna be it for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.